Welcome to Spring Boot tutorial. In this new video we're going to implement the builder design pattern in Spring Boot 4.00 from starter to pro. We start the video by opening IntelliJ and open Builder. See, I have prepared the app. I open it. I have the standard main class. Can close that, and we start with user and test. As you can see, user is a normal class with 5 variables, in this case strings A, B, C, D, E, a constructor and 5 getters. You see the variables are private and final, and the constructor is public. Also, the getters are all public. We have test file. Here we use that user. So we give the user new user A, B, C, D, E, and we print out the users. I can do it, run this main class. It only take a minute. And voila, we have user 01. You see it here. A is A, B is B, C is C, D is D, E is E. But what if we don't need all 5 of the variables? Then we have to do something like null. See it here, also that's work. We run it, run, and voila, D is null. But not a proper solution. Therefore, we use builder. The next step is to use builder. Make it bigger, go up. I created a new class, again with 5 string variables, private and final, but as you can see, we have a private constructor. We bring in builder. You're going to see that in a minute. Again, we have 5 getters, and we have a public static builder class. Return new builder. Here we have our class, inner class, public static class builder. Again, we have our 5 variables, but as you can see, we have here one, the E, with the string default. You're going to see that in a minute if we test it out. Then we have builder A, builder B, builder C, builder D, and builder E. So you see, we have for each from our variables a builder. We're going to test it out. Go next. Here you see user is user.builder. A is A, B, B, C, C, D, E, 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 and dot build at the end. And then we print it out. We're going to test it out. Test. And voila, you see it here, A, B, C, D, E. But now it's very easy to left something out. Let's see. We don't need C and the D. We don't use that, only A, B, C. We run it. And voila, C and D are null. But what if we left out E? Because you remember, E have a default setting. So we left out E, we run it, run, and voila. We have A is A, B is B, null, null, and E is default. For our third example, I want to make sure A and B are required. Again, we have our user class, 5 variables, a private constructor with builder, the 5 getters, a builder method, but this time we bring in A and B, and we return new builder AB. Maybe I'll show you in the previous example. 01. See here we have an empty builder. It's not the same. Okay. Now we create our builder class. Again, the 5 variables with 1 as default. But as you can see, again, we have private builder AB. Then we have our builder class for A, our builder method for A, B, C, D, E, and at the end we have user 00 build, and here we make sure A or and B cannot be null. If we have null, we return an exception, A and B is required, and we return our user. We go to test. As you can see, now we have user.builder. A and B are here in the constructor. All the rest is in the build. C, D, E dot build. We can left out E, D, no problem. But if we left out, example, the B, you see we have an error. Return the B. I run it like it is. Run it. And voila, we have A, B, C null, D is null, and E as the default. Example, we can give in the D, run it again. And voila, D is inside. If we bring in E, default gonna change to E. Run it. Sorry. Run. And voila. In the next example, we do the same like before, but we don't bring in A and B in the constructor, but in a normal row of the build. You're gonna see again left out the E, no problem, no error. E, C, but if I left out the B, look, we have an error. We cannot run the project. Also, E is mandatory. See, if I left out the E, we have an error of the B. B, you see, no candidates found for method call B. So, you have to do it like that. If we run this, run it, and you see A is A, B is B, and all the rest are default. You're going to see that in a minute. If we bring in, example, the D, run it again. You see, the D is the D. You can also bring them in, all 5. Run it. Sorry, run. Et voila. A, B, C, D, E. How we do that? You can see here we have some explanation. The A setter, the B setter, and the optional setter. We open the class. We start the same like before. User class, 5 final and private string variables. The private constructor with builder. But you see here A setter, builder, return builder. So that's for the first variable. Then we have the getters A, B, C, D, E, and we have 3 interfaces. We have an interface A setter. Here we go to the B setter and we run A, the builder A, with string A. That means A is mandatory. Again, B, interface B setter, but this time we go to the optional setter, this one. But first we do B, builder B, string B. All the rest is optional, 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 and build everything together. Here we open our class builder implements a setter interface, this one, the B setter interface, this one, and the optional setter interface, this one. You have seen that first we run this, then this, and this. Again, at last, builder A, builder B, builder C, builder D, and builder E. And at the end, build, return, new, build, this. So, all the variables. I've seen it. It's a better solution than the first one. If we want to make A and B mandatory, C, D, E can left out. In example number 5, we push it a little harder. Again, we start with the test, user, builder, and you see here already A or C setter. So we need A and B or C and D. E is optional. You see it here, A and B and E is okay. But if we bring in the C, we have a problem. The D, also a problem. But if we left out A and B, everything is okay. So it's or A and B or C and D. E is always optional. Left it out. Even here. See, E is always optional. Also, if we select E, we need B. See, again, we have an error. If we select C, we left out A and B, we bring in C, again, we have a problem, we need D. You see it here. We can run that, run it, and voila. A and B are null, C, D, E. If we bring in A, we run that. This time we have A and B, and C and D are null. And E is always optional. How we do that? We go to our class, again, user class, the 5 variables, the private constructor, bring in builder. We have a static class, a static method, A or C setter, builder, return new builder. That's the start of the builder. Then we have our 5 getters, like normal, and we have a couple of interfaces. Make it some bigger. So we start here with A or C setter. Here we have our first interface. Public interface A or C setter. First we do the B setter. After the A or the C. We can choose A or C. If we select A, we go to the B setter, and then we go to the optional. If we do C, we go to the D setter, and we need optional for the E. The last is the optional setter interface for the E. And if we come here, we build everything together. We have our class builder implements A or C, B setter, D setter, and optional setter. So we have 4 interfaces. Our normal 5 variables are A builder, B builder, C builder, D builder, E builder, and at last the builder who returns this to the user number 3. So to wrap up, here we do A and B or C and D. See, now we have an error, and now we don't have an error. We always need A, B or C and D. And you see everything is changing here. Always A or C. If we select C, we go to D. And if we select D, we go to optional. If we do it here, you see everything is gone because we have an error. Again, A or C. Then we go to the B setup. After B, we go to the optional setup. And we build everything together. In the next example, we have a variant of the previous example. As you can see, here we can bring in the 5 variables. You see it here. We start with A or C. If we select C, we go to B. If we select B, we go to C or optional. If we select C, we go to D. If we select D, we go to optional and optional. You see it here. We have a little variant. So we can do, we left out A, we have a problem because B is mandatory. If we left out B, we have no problem. Now we do A or C. If we select C, we go to D and then optional. And if we select D, we go to optional. D is also obligated because we select C. If we left out everything, again we have an error. So it's or it's or B and C, or C and D, or all 4 together. The E is always optional. We can select it, or we can left it out. So if we do like that, we can run it. Run. You see A, B, C default, D default, and A default. If we left out the A and the B, you see we have a problem. We can select now the C and D, also the E. Run it. See, this time A is default, B is default, C, D, E. And we can select all 5 of them. No problem. Run it. Run. Et voilà. We have all 5 variables. How we do that? We open the class, again, a normal class, the 5 variables, again, a private constructor to bring in the builder, again, the A or C, starter, here we start everything, then get A, B, C, D, E, the getters, and our interfaces. We have a couple of more interfaces, I'll make it some bigger. Our first interface is the same like before, interface A or C setup. We do after, if we do the A, then we go to B. If we left out A and we select C, we go to D. D, then optional field setter. So we go to the B setter here. If we do B, we can do C or optional. Then we have A or optional. If we do that, we go to B, then optional. Interface C or optional. We go to D. So if we select C, D is mandatory. If we select A, D is mandatory. B is mandatory, sorry. Then if we do D, we go to optional. If we have selected B and then optional, we select B and then optional. D, then optional, we select D and go to the optional. We have only one in the optional, is E, sorry. And we build everything together. So This time we need a couple of more interfaces. We have one A or C. The next is B setter, A or optional, C or optional, D setter, the B then optional, D then optional, and the last is the optional. You see it here, our class, our builder class implements A setter, B setter, C or optional, E or optional, B then optional, optional, D setter, and D then optional. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 interfaces for all the possibilities. Then the 5 variables with a default. See here, the normal A builder, B builder, C builder, D builder, and E builder. That's always the same. And build everything together. It's also always the same. But we return this. Then, so you see, we have A, B, C, and D, or A and B, or C and D. So we have a couple of possibilities. We have one if we select all of them. E is always optional. We do or this one, or this one, or this one. So we have 3 possibilities, always with the possibility of left out the E. And we print everything out. Here you see one with A and B only. For the last example, we use a record. I can show you previous. We always used a class. Now we use a record. And that's work even okay. So one record, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 variables. You know the getters are automatically generated by the record. Next, the static builder class method with return builder. So we return this one here, the builder class. The 5 variables with 1 as a default string. The A method builder, the B, the C, the D, and the E, and last, the build method. But you see here, we cannot return this. We have to return the user A, B, C, D, E. So we have to return this. We go to the test. Here you see we can left out everything because in this class we don't have rules in this builder. No interfaces, no rules. You can run that. And you see everything is null except E because E has a default value. You can select all of them. Again, run it, run. Et voilà, A, B, C, D, E. So everything we learned before worked always with records. It's a much simpler solution. We are at the end of this video. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe, give a thumbs up or leave a message. Thank you very much and see you later.